It's that time of the year again. Lotto season. Hey, my name is Xzero, and today I'd like to cover a spreadsheet Saber of Avalon and I put together to help for an upcoming lottery event called Battle in New York, or for short, Gilfest. Let's go over the basics. For anyone new to lottery event, to sum it up, it's basically an event that allows you to farm X amount of lotto currency to exchange for a number of boxes. Everything in the box is yours with no real RNG involved as long as you empty out the entire box before resetting. The amount of boxes you can get is entirely up to you, and it is advised to at least get the first 10 boxes for premium loot like event craft essence, lures, gold foes, gold and silver apples. I want to stress this and advise you to empty out the entire box before resetting the next one, because there's no going back if you miss premium loot from the first 10 boxes. For anyone that decides to farm more than 10 boxes, this will future-proof your account on monster materials, gems, XP cards, mana prisms, friend points, and QP. There's also gold bars unique to this lotto event, which can be exchanged for items in the shop, and any leftover can be converted for more QP. Before starting the event, you should ask yourself this question: do I clear the shop? The answer is ultimately up to you. Look at the shop and ask yourself what is in there that you absolutely need and get them. Once you've achieved this, immediately shift gears and farm lotto currency, because in the long run you will get more out of the boxes for your account. Now that we've covered the basics, I want to move into the actual spreadsheet. This section will cover how to navigate through and properly read the spreadsheet so you're able to fully understand the comp that you end up working with during this event. Please note Guildfest has 3 sets of rotations, all of which has different sets of monsters to fight against. Each rotation lasts for 5 days, going from Rotation 1, Preliminaries, Rotation 2, Semifinals, and Rotation 3, Finals. Look through each rotation and find a comp that suits you and farm away. Let's take a look at Rotation 1. How do you want to farm this? You want a 6 slot, 5 slot, 4 slot, or 3 slot? The term slot means how many lotto currency craft essence a build can carry. Depending on your account, some will try to do the maximum amount of slots to yield the highest drops. Some will stick to 5 slots and be satisfied with the results, and some are forced to do 4 or less due to what's available to their account. Once you've settled for a build, you want to make sure you check out their skill levels, the mystic code level, what craft essences to equip, because all of that play a part into how much damage they're going to deal towards the mobs. It also takes a factor into how much they refund, and anything less than that could result in an inconsistent run. Each build has its own unique description to execute it properly, with a video reference to help aid visually, unless otherwise a work in progress, and we'll do our best to set one up in due time. Many of you are going to look at a build and be like, okay, servants check, mystic code checks, I have all my skill levels check, I have all these craft essences check, I've read the description, I've followed the visual aid, my servant's between MP3 to MP5, and your calculation shows that I'm in the green, but something's wrong. And I can't seem to refund, or I can't seem to clear the wave properly. And part of that issue ends up being people only read this portion of the spreadsheet, and they only see what the green calculations come up with. But they sometimes forget that there are other factors into the build. And if you scroll to the right, you'll see that you have your base stats of a servant at max level. You have your craft essence damage output, whether you have it at base level or you super it to a 100. And in this case, a super scope scales all the way up to 2000 attack, which factors a lot and helps a lot with the calculations on the left hand side. This helps your servants do more damage and essentially do enough damage where they overkill and refund for the next wave. You'll see that this column covers the charges and refunds that you would get with these presented stats. Some people forget to fold their units, and that's another 1000 attack that you might be missing that can contribute to coming up just enough, or if you don't have it, if you don't have your servant fold, or if you don't have your craft essence supered, you might be just 1 to 2% short from being able to fully refund. There are other columns in this spreadsheet that cover attack ups and defense downs applied in the proper rooms. Same with card mods, NP mods, and power mods. And then anything that has like a special attack on NP, like maybe like Gilgamesh, and is special damage towards servants that are weak to Enmaelesh, are factored into this column. And then any descriptions that we might not be able to place into the actual description window on the left hand side, we put it over here in terms of power mods, attack mods, NP mods. So make sure to you check out the entire spreadsheet and just don't limit yourself to this portion. To fully understand the build, you need to make sure that you cover all of your bases and make sure that you have the proper amount of attack stats from your CEs and your servants are filled to 1000. Now, there are obvious situations where some people might grail their servant or super fold their servants, and we don't particularly do calculations for those unless it's a popular servant that could be a very good option. Like for this particular lotto event, Gene Archer is a good grail candidate, but typically speaking, we don't really cover grails for the most part, because not everyone is going to have the option to that, and it's just better to cover the norm versus the few. Our spreadsheet covers many builds, but for the sake of this video, I will only highlight some of the best in slot comps and leave the rest for you to look over on your own. The nice thing about this lotto is some of the best in slot comps can be reused for multiple rotations. Caster Seed comp is a perfect example, which works very well for rotation 1 and rotation 2. While this build has a little bit of a problem with Romulus, where you have to face guard, it's not going to be an issue during rotation 2, where all of these units are going to be assassin class. The next reusable comp is the Scotty system. The Scotty system is a straightforward 5-slot comp that pumps everything into a quick AoE servant MP 3 times in a row. The comp consists of Lancelot double Scotty, Dante's double Scotty, Atalanta double Scotty. The Scotty system generally needs a super scope, but not everyone has this option, so the alternative is to either use a Mage Association or plug suit another charge servant to cover the missing charge. Another option is Fran and double Scotty with Nightingale, who can nullify Fran's self-stun. This option is probably going to be the house favorite for this Guildfest and next year's Guildfest. If you rolled for Jartra at MP1, good news, she can 5-slot very easily with the damage event CE. But if you wailed hard enough for MP5 Jartra, you can try your hand at a 6-slot setup. The nice thing about this comp is that even if you didn't roll for Jarcher, as long as you have Paracelsus, Waver, Scotty, all you need is some dependable friends with Jarcher, and you can pull this comp off. And that's pretty much it. I don't generally make videos, but Guildfest is looming around the corner, and hopefully this will help everyone for Guildfest. Big thanks to Stay with Avalon who contributed into this project. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Catch me on my next stream. Follow me on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter to stay up to date. Thanks again everyone, and I'll see you next time.